My name is Dallas James Harris. I'm 26 years old. On stage, I'm known as Georgia Bea Cummings, Miss Pittsburgh Pride 2010. During the day, I am a hairdresser and makeup artist at Premier Salons and Macy's downtown here in Pittsburgh. And in the evenings, I perform all over the state of Pennsylvania as Georgia Bea Cummings. I dance, I sing, I do characters, I do a lot of different things whenever I perform. I have been a small town boy all of my life. I grew up in a town where there was one high school. Everybody knew who everybody was. Everybody knew my parents, everybody knew my family, everybody knew me. And it made it very hard to be a young gay man in a town that is so overrun with evangelical Christians, which I consider myself a Christian. And that in and of itself is very confusing to people, that I can be a Christian and I can be gay. I was in leadership positions at my church. I was the dance ministry leader, music minister. I worked with women's ministries and children's ministries. I owned my own salon. And had I come out there, I would have lost all of those things. I actually came to Pittsburgh Pride in 2009. It was my first Pride. I had a blast, and I recognized that this is a city where they value their gay citizens. So whenever it came time for me to move from Morgantown, this was at the top of my list.
Thank you. Sorry we couldn't find it.
I'm one of the very few live singing drag queens. I don't sing all of my songs live, but I do that a lot. And I also invest myself a lot in the community, and that is what really sets me apart, I think, from most of the drag queens here. I believe that as a title holder, our job is to make a difference in our community, and that's a full-time job. When you win a pageant, you are applying for a job. When you're competing, you're doing your interview, your performance analysis. All those things come together so that they can select somebody who's going to represent this city and who's going to represent their title. So you want to make sure your eyebrows are on point. If you notice, mine are large on the inside and then get gradually smaller as they go out. The top of my arch is directly in line with the outside of the iris of my eye. And what that does is it creates an illusion that my eyes are kind of pulled back like this, even when they're not. It's a shame that you don't see a lot of this work in bars, but the lighting is so low, and that's why we spend so much time putting this on like this, is just to look presentable in a bar. Because lighting is so low, you have to really overcompensate with makeup. And as men, we have to be the almost like a superwoman. We can't be just a natural looking woman, because a natural looking woman who is actually a man looks like a man in a dress, and that's not pretty. Pittsburgh drag shows are very, very different from one another, depending on which bar you're at, which night of the week it is. Most of the shows that I myself promote and put together are there's a very wide variety of performers in my shows.
What's the matter? They don't fit your pads?
No, and they're so big on me. Okay, well, we'll make it fit.
That's what happens when drag queens have problems. Somehow we figure out a way to do it. Whether we have to fuck you over or we have to use a roll of duct tape, we'll make it happen.
We can make it fit. I like to have, you know, maybe one dancer, a singer, a comedian, and an avant-garde drag queen. I like to mix all those things in there together so that the audience doesn't get bored.
You learn so much, not only about makeup and hair and costumes and this and that, whatever, and it's not even so much anymore about like actually doing drag. It's not about doing drag anymore. Now for me it's about, I'm learning so much more about myself, and I've learned what I've been suppressing, I've learned how to suppress, I've learned how to hate, I've learned how to love.
Do you see yourself here in 10 years? Do you see yourself in New York? Or where do you see yourself like in the future?
I love Pittsburgh. I really, really do. It's been very good to me. It's provided me with a lot of venues to perform. It's brought me in contact with some wonderful, wonderful people. In 10 years, that's a really long time. In my adult life, I've never been any place for 10 years. So I can't realistically say that I'll be here in 10 years, but I can't say that I won't be either. You know what? I think that a lot of people have a very bitter taste in their mouth about gay rights sometimes. And I think that that's very disappointing, because we don't want anything that anybody else doesn't have. We don't want extra rights, we want equal rights. We want to be able to visit our loved ones in the hospital. We want to be able to claim them on our taxes. You know, these are things that are not difficult. They're not outlandish requests. And I think that, you know, we've come a long way in the last 10 years, but we've got a long way to go.
She's your current reigning Miss Pittsburgh Pride. She's classy, she's fierce, and we love her. Please get those dollar bills out and show some love for Miss Georgia Bea Cummings!
Thank you for doing a documentary on me.